Okay, at this point I can arrest you for disorderly conduct. I can arrest you for trespassing.
Well, I'm not being disorderly.
Yes, you are.
I will gladly leave this area.
Yeah, it's time to leave. Like I said
I'd like
earlier,
to exercise my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, if that's okay. Because why would you want to make me insecure on my persons and violate my Fourth Amendment right?
In this encounter, a man is approached by a police officer after a complaint from a property manager at a fairground. The officer attempts to identify him despite stating that no laws have been broken. Under the Fourth Amendment, an officer must generally have reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime to detain someone and compel identification. What begins as a voluntary interaction quickly shifts into a dispute over whether the officer has lawful authority to demand ID or enforce removal from the property. As the situation unfolds, the encounter becomes a direct conflict between individual rights and asserted police authority.
Hello.
How's it going, officer?
Are you Brandon?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any ID on you?
I do, actually, yeah.
Can I see that, please?
But my name is Brandon Hopkins, and the reason why we're having this conversation is literally just because I came up and
Well, look. Can I see your ID?
I'd rather not give you my ID. I haven't broken any laws.
I'm not saying you broke any laws. I just want to identify you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm Brandon. My name is Brandon.
Okay.
And I haven't broken any laws, so therefore I wouldn't want to give you my ID if that's okay.
Default text under the Fourth Amendment. A person is not required to provide identification during a consensual encounter unless there is reasonable suspicion of a crime or a specific state law requiring it under lawful detention.
I'm just confused as to why not.
I'm not. I wasn't disorderly. She's the one being disorderly. I literally came up to have a conversation. I was talking to him for like 2 minutes. She slammed the door, came over here. She said she was calling you guys, so I didn't leave. I didn't want to run away.
What's your middle name, Brandon?
My middle name is Alan, but I'm not going to give you any more information. My name is Brandon. She called you and told you who I was.
What's your date of birth?
I'm not going to give you any more information. Okay. I'd like to not give any more information. That's okay.
Why won't you give me your date of birth? I don't understand.
Why would you need to have my information?
Because I need to document your
It's a
information.
violation of my Fourth Amendment right.
It is not a
Well, sure, because I haven't broken any laws. I haven't broken any laws.
I'm not saying you broke any laws. I am asking you to give me
Well,
your
therefore, I'd
information.
like to be secure in my house's paper copy of person. I'd like to be secure in my person.
Okay, are you refusing to identify yourself?
At this point, the officer acknowledges no crime has occurred while still requesting identification. This creates a legal contradiction, as identification demands are typically tied to lawful detention.
So they have asked you to leave. Okay. If you refuse to leave, then you are trespassing, and that is breaking
Well,
the
they
law.
would have to trespass me, and I would have to be given an opportunity to leave. That's how trespass laws work. So if you want...
Good status. Can you start another unit? P2.
You want to ask them if I'm being trespassed?
She already said she wants you to leave.
Well, no, she wanted me to leave. She said she didn't tell me to leave leave this place. She just wanted me to leave the office.
You want him gone, right?
Is that not correct?
Trespass enforcement generally requires a clear notice to leave the property and a refusal to comply. Ambiguity about whether the individual was actually trespassed can affect the legality of enforcement.
Okay, so here's the deal.
Take him out.
If you want him gone, all right, we would have to formally trespass him. Is that what we want to do?
That's up to you, Brandon. You have a choice.
I have a choice about what? You're
So
telling
you
me
can
to
leave peacefully, or we can arrest you for trespassing.
Well,
What do you want to do?
No, sir. She can ask me if I'm trespassed, then I will.
You
Sir.
can leave peacefully, or we can arrest you for trespassing.
But they
what do you want to do?
They have to trespass me, though.
Yes, they do, and they
So
can.
am I being trespassed?
If you don't walk away
No,
from
that's
him
not how it
and
works. You
leave,
have to trespass me, then I have to be
asked-
given an opportunity to leave. Isn't that
Please
correct?
keep your
multiple
hands
times.
to yourself.
Well, could you also? Isn't that correct, officer? I have to be trespassed, and then I have to be given an opportunity to leave.
You are being told to leave.
By law.
The individual is asserting a correct general principle. Trespass typically requires notice and an opportunity to leave before arrest can be justified.
Okay, at this point I can arrest you for disorderly conduct. I can arrest you for
Thank you.
trespassing.
Well, I'm not being disorderly.
Yes,
I
you
will,
are.
I will gladly leave this area. if
Yeah,
I'm
it's
being
time to
trespassed.
leave. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, leave the fairgrounds.
Could I get your name and your badge number, please?
My name is Officer Wyss, WYSS. My badge number is 109.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your professionalism, sir. Well, you guys have
Wish
a
I
good
could say
day.
the same for you.
Well, I don't think I've been not professional.
I disagree.
Well, why would you say that?
Because you're instigating.
I'm not instigating anything.
Yes, you are. Now it's time to leave. Let's go.
Yeah, I said I was going to leave.
Then let's go.
Once the individual agrees to leave, continued escalation or additional demands may raise questions about whether the encounter remains lawful or becomes an extended detention.
Like I said
I'd like to
earlier,
exercise my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, if that's okay.
You're not being
Ask me
charged
any
with a
other-
crime.
Huh?
You're not being charged with a crime.
Well, exactly. So why would you want to make me insecure of
1511.
my houses, paper, property, effects, and things? Why would you want to make me insecure of my persons and violate my Fourth Amendment right? I'm leaving this place. That's what you told me to do, right?
Hang on just a second. Can you advise if he's signal 30? Sorry, I got a lot of background. Didn't hear that. All right.
I'm curious on why you're further harassing me.
Well, because I needed to determine whether or not you were who I thought you were. Because there is an individual with your name who was involved with, I believe it was St. Joe Police,
Mm-hmm.
and is possibly pending charges. So I needed to determine whether or not you had any warrants out for your arrest.
Running a warrant check or demanding identification typically requires reasonable suspicion tied to the specific individual, not just a shared name, without additional identifying factors.
Well, I'd like to not further your investigation.
Well, you can be charged with obstructing justice at that point. or
Well,
obstructing
obstruction is a
police.
physical act.
It's not.
It actually is.
So
By law,
at
it's
this
obstruction.
at this point, all right, unless you're going to give me ID to confirm this.
I'm not going to you're making me insecure of my houses, papers, property, effects, and things. If you violate my Fourth Amendment right, I'm going to sue you
I'm
and your
asking
department.
you to willingly give me your ID.
I've not broken any laws.
I'm
is
not
that correct?
forcing you to do that.
I've not broken any laws. Is that
What does that
correct?
have to do with me asking you to give you ID?
Because you don't have to have articulable, reasonable suspicion to gain my ID.
No, I don't. I'm asking you to give it over.
You have to
Willingly identify yourself.
You
That's
have-
what I'm asking. You do
No,
anything.
you have no ARS.
just
You have no
asking you to do that.
articulable, reasonable suspicion to do anything to me. What you're saying to me is unlawful in what you're doing. I've not broken the law. I've not been disorderly. I've not done anything wrong here. You're coming and harassing
So,
me. You walked.
are you leaving
walked
or not?
over 100 yards to come here and harass me and try to gain my
Are you
information.
leaving or not?
I said I was going to leave. You are hindering that ability for me to do so.
I'm not hindering anything. I've not
Don't come over here like
physically
a
obstructed you.
tyrant.
Are you leaving or no? Or do you want to keep talking?
I want you to know, as a public servant that works for me, I don't work for you.
No, I work for the people of the Berrien Springs.
I am the people, right? I am the
Springs.
people. No, you work for the people. You swore an oath to the U.S. Constitution to therefore protect my rights. You serve the public by protecting
Yes,
individual
and I am
rights.
employed by
and
the
what
people
you're
of
doing
Berrien
right
Springs and
now,
Orinoco Township.
trying to come over here
Okay.
and harass me to gain my
And you
my
are
property,
disrupting
my
the
papers.
peaceful
I'm not
execution of
disrupting
this fair.
anything. Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's it. If you continue
God
to
bl-
bother the staff at the fair, I will arrest you.
I'm not.
Do you understand that?
Sir, I have never bothered them at all. I was trying to have a communication with them. She got upset, slammed the door. God bless you, sir. Have a great day.
This encounter highlights several constitutional issues. The officer repeatedly requested identification while acknowledging no crime had occurred, raising Fourth Amendment concerns about unlawful detention and lack of reasonable suspicion. The threat of obstruction for refusing to identify without clear legal grounds further complicates the legality of the interaction. Additionally, the shifting justification from trespass to disorderly conduct to warrant verification demonstrates a failure to clearly articulate a consistent lawful basis for enforcement. Situations like this emphasize the importance of understanding when police authority is legally established and when constitutional protections apply.